So our lesson note today, we're going to explore the presentation of war in Anthem for Doomed Youth. Has anyone heard of this poem before? No, this is probably one of the most famous war poems. It's written by Wilfred Owen, and whenever you mention war poetry, Wilfred Owen or Rupert Brooke are generally the names that are mentioned, but this one's by Wilfred Owen. What I'd like us to do, just to get thinking in that mindset of, what is war, what images are conjured up, what do we expect from the poetry. Some of you have got this image on your desk. If you haven't, just have a look at the image on the board. I'd just like you to create a mind map, just put war in the middle of a circle, and literally anything that springs to mind when you think of that word war, use that image to navigate your responses to a point. Alex?
I like a fight for freedom.
Okay, good. So sometimes freedom is one of the causes that people are fighting for. Excellent. If somebody says something incidentally that you haven't got, get it down, because the more we get at this stage, the more progression we can make. Jordan?
Commitment and how people are committed to fighting for their country and love other people.
Excellent, that's a really good one. Commitment, so your dedication to a cause, so it can be freedom, as Alex said. Anything else? What does war conjure up? And I realise this is a massive term with loads of connotations.
Violence.
Yeah, good. Violence normally at the heart of it, and these poems by Wilfred Owen, the one we are going to look at today, really focuses on this notion of violence. Jordan?
It could cause poverty.
Yes, good. So lots of knock-on political factors that could stem from that. So poverty, yeah. Termination, so the death of people. And again, this poem focuses around that notion. So destruction, good. Anything from this image? So if you focus in terms of what is going on in this image, if we were in that situation, what emotions do we think we're experiencing? Grace?
I was just going to say loyalty, because
Good. Yeah, loyalty. So it's a sense of, I don't know if anyone's heard the phrase description. What do you think what we can see, hear and smell?
Dirt.
Yeah, certainly dirt. I think part of it is it's really muddy, really wet. It looks like kind of syrupy, that mud, like treacle. Louisa? Loud? Yeah, good. So in terms of sounds, obviously we can't hear anything from that image, but you can imagine the battlefield is somewhere loud. Jordan?
Demoralised.
Yeah, demoralised. I think that's a really good word. So all hope is gone.
Blood.
Blood? Yeah, good. So certainly a key signifier that comes to mind when we think about this notion of war. So it's really effective, that simile. So it's like they're just simply bred to die. That's their function. That's simply cannon fodder. Let's have a look at the title in some detail. Anthem for Doomed Youth. What is an anthem? What do we typically expect from an anthem? Kayla?
It's like when you've got like the English anthem or something that you allocate with it. Like a song.
Yeah, good. So typically a song, normally associated with patriotism, so being proud to be part of the country. Why do we think this poem is called an anthem? Because it's not exactly kind of demonstrating that sentiment of being proud to be from Britain, is it? So why call it an anthem? What do you think Owen is trying to do by giving it that title?
Don't they normally play anthems when like people from the army like die and stuff?
Okay, good. So it could be an anthem in the sense that it's honouring. We could also look at that in terms it's subverting our expectations. So at the time this was written, people thought the war was really good, glorious. You kind of like you die with rifles, rapid rattle. Got any techniques in those lines?
An alliteration where it says rapid rattle.
Okay, rifles, rapid rattle. What's the effect of that? Why does Owen use alliteration in this sense? Think of the sound of it. Rifles, rapid rattle. It almost reflects the sound of the gun itself, doesn't it? So that's quite effective. It's onomatopoeic there.
It's not just anger, the guns. Personification.
Yeah, personification. Good. Why does Owen use personification in this sense? Why does he bring the guns to life in this way? Yeah. So continue to make notes on these as we go, and if you pick up something I don't, feel free to interject. So no mockeries for them now. If I'm mocking you, what am I doing? Yeah, taking the mick. Good. So no mockeries for them now. No prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning, save the choirs. So Owen feels that you'd be mocking these people if you gave them a traditional funeral. Nor any voice of mourning, save the choirs. Choir. What image are we getting from a choir? Where do we picture a choir, Neve? In a church, good. So this is Owen's choir. You know, anyone who's kind of upset.
Yeah, so like
That's right. We discuss it and then come up to your own. So the pall is the cloth that goes over a coffin. So he's saying the pallor, which is paleness of the girls' heads, so the girls in their memory, is now only the cloth on their coffin. So it's just a memory and now it embodies that. Yeah, does that make sense? Yes, good. Yeah. 3 more minutes. Detail point evidence explained.
And being
So, which line did you get? Okay, so that's personification. It's the bugles, so trumpets calling for them. So the shires is like that, where they're from, their hometowns. So it's almost like that's the sound, so it's lamenting their death almost. Bugles is like a trumpet type thing. Yeah?
So the trumpets are saying
Yeah, basically, that's what the line's saying. So it expresses kind of the overall tone that they shouldn't be there in the first place. They shouldn't be there in the first place. Does that make sense? So shires are like Cambridgeshire, Hampshire, towns like.
This is a line with and each slow dust a drawing down of blinds. This is a line with deep meaningfulness. It has a dark message withheld. The drawing down of blinds is associated with going to sleep. This is indicative of the soldier going into a death sleep.
Okay, good. So the idea that it's metaphorical, it's symbolic. Very good. Good response there.
The first line of this poem uses a simile for effect. The phrase "these to die as cattle" implies that the soldiers are unimportant and can be replaced by other people.
Yeah, really good. I back up my ideas by explaining how a writer uses themes in their writing. To put that into basic terms, I can pick up the basic messages in the poem and support my points with quotation. So we're all fairly good at supporting our ideas with evidence, and we can pick up the kind of overarching messages and themes. So no reason why we can't be at least a C today. At B, I support my points with detailed reference to language, theme and structure. So the only difference between C and B is the level of explanation and insight that you give. And at A, which hopefully by the end of year 11, we're all at that level, AA star. Alison, can you just do a section of yours for us, please? So if everyone listens in, so finish your sentence writing, please. Listen in, have a look at that grade criteria, try and familiarise yourself with that GCSE criteria, and we'll try and give Madison some feedback. Go on, Madison.
From Virginia, the title itself operates a vehicle owing to unleash his discontent. An anthem is a song which expresses joy and happiness, but the word doom changes the whole idea of happiness and gives the reader an opposite view. The word youth indicates the youth of young age for the soldiers.
Excellent, good. Molly, what has Madison done? To A, you need to offer a more detailed explanation, or to get a C, you must offer quotation. They would be acceptable targets. First of all, from Madison.
To use more quotations
Okay,
to
good.
back up my...
Right, and let's see the finished product then to see if you've acted upon
all
the
of it?
points. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't finished it.
Yeah, that's fine.
The very title confirms a devastating and grieving piece of text. Youth are extremely important to the world and to the future, so for them to be described as doomed can be an eye-opener. However, the description seems to be accurate, proven to us in standards 1 and 2. The sonnet begins with a simile that is sure to make us think. Die as cattle. Humans are being discarded in war like used tissues. Throughout the text, this sinisterness continues, with the ending scathing us with a heart-aching metaphor. And each slow dust a drawing down of blinds. This line has a deep meaningfulness. It has a dark message withheld. The drawing down of blinds is associated with going to sleep. This is indicative of the soldier going into a death sleep. You can't help but appertain a part of the sonnet. You are drawn into every word.
Yeah, really good. So you can really hear how you've gradually developed and you picked up phrases or words and almost exploded their meaning apart and gone into lots of detail. You can definitely hear the improvement. I think it's really, really beneficial for you today to do that peer assessment.